Boy D-Lo over at the Stuff of Legend. This dude is the GOAT. He's like me and he's a fan of much fiction. Y'all need to go over and check him out. Go subscribe. Now, today we're gonna be talking about Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, and I am so pumped. Woo! First and foremost, I want to say that this video is going to be spoiler filled later in the video. Right now, I'm just going to get into the basics. Overall, I was pretty pleased with the story. It kept me at the edge of my seat most of the film. There was rarely a dull moment. The characters, I want to say, I wish we had more time with them. I feel like it was kind of cut short, and we were a little shortchanged on their backstories and, you know, the details. The acting was good, and I'm gonna stick with that. I'm not gonna go any more, any less. It was good. And the cinematography and the special effects were exceptional. They were so good. They were beautifully done. Now, let's get to the meat of this thing. There are spoilers ahead, so if you have not seen the film, go somewhere else, get out of here. Go. I want to say I enjoyed how Rey struggled with the dark side. I think that's something that every Jedi has to go through, and them focusing on that in this film. Also in The Last Jedi, they focused on that, but on this one, they really focused on it, and I think it was well done. It was very well done. But I didn't really care for how they used Palpatine. You know, I heard that Palpatine was gonna be in this film. I just didn't know how they're gonna use him, and I wasn't very pleased with how they used him. I felt like it was kind of grasping for straws. They really wanted to incorporate the old film so much. They did that throughout the whole film, and it was just kind of like very obvious and like kind of like a little cringy to me, because it was just like, why are you bringing back all these old characters? This is supposed to be like kind of a new story. Even though it's part of the same saga, it just like felt like it was so forced. You know, having C-3PO and R2-D2 as like, you know, the main droids. I know BB-8 is the new droid, but they kind of put him on the back burner this film, and I don't know. I just felt like they were grasping for straws with that. Something that was kind of weird to me is that Finn had something to say to Rey. He told her that, and they never concluded that. They never said what he was going to say to Rey, and that was kind of strange. Like, why even add that into the film if they weren't going to explain what that was all about? I don't know. The kiss between Kylo Ren and Rey, I think it was something that was long awaited. It was something that was inevitable, but it was kind of misplaced. I feel like it was like a little awkward. You know, you weren't really in the moment. You weren't like in, you know, that romantic space when they did that. It was like kind of weird. It was like a weird kiss, but I was rooting for them like the whole time. Like I was like, throughout the movie, I was like, I just feel this tension between them. They just might as well kiss. Like, through the whole movie, that's what I said. But, you know, when it actually happened, it just was kind of awkward because it was like a weird timing. And I loved that Kylo Ren sacrificed himself to save Rey. This was truly a Kylo redemption story. Get it? All right, that was bad. Over these 3 films, I loved the way that he struggled and like the back and forth he went in his mind and like that. It was so awesome to see that development. Kylo Ren is my favorite character, by the way, of all the Star Wars films. So don't hate me, but that's the truth. And I am extremely intrigued by Poe's backstory. I feel like we got like a little taste of his backstory in this film, but nothing else. And I felt like I needed more. I really wanted to know more about Poe's story. I feel like when they explained Rey's parents, they kind of shortchanged us again. Like, I feel like we needed to know more about them. We needed to know more of the story, more details, even more than that she was a Palpatine. Like, it was so like quick. Like, it wasn't I was ready for more. They didn't get into detail. They just needed more time with this series, I feel like. I think that they did a good job with paying tribute to Carrie Fisher with Princess Leia. Overall, I give this film an 8.5 out of 10. It was fun, it was exhilarating, but it left me wanting so much more. I think they did too much fan service to the fans of the original series. Like, I personally feel like they needed to pay attention to what's going on right now. Not, even though it's part of the same saga, not including every character from the last series. Like, focus on what's going on now. And moving forward in the Star Wars universe, forget about Skywalker stuff. Like, chill on that. Like, it was an amazing story, but don't tamper with it too much because, you start to change things. And I think the reason why they wanted to do that is because they know that the fans of the old films, a lot of the fans from the old films didn't care for this new series. They didn't really care for this new trilogy. They wanted to incorporate so much of the old stuff and so many of the old characters to make these fans, change their minds. And I think they did the opposite of what they were trying to do because the fans of the old series are like, y'all are changing everything. Why? Like, this doesn't make me want to watch this more, so I enjoyed it personally. I didn't grow up on Star Wars though. Like, I got into Star Wars during The Force Awakens. So I watched all of them, I binged all of them, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a huge fan now, but I don't feel that same way about the old films as, the people that grew up with that. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this film, what you thought about the trilogy. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What should have stayed the same and what should have changed? Let me know. I want to hear from y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you head over to The Stuff of Legend and subscribe and check him out. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.